All right, we're moving right along with our edits here. So I switched over to my Cintiq, so that's what I'm using now. And let's pull in another 5 images. I'm just going to do 5 at a time. Pull these in. I will pause the video as these load, and then we'll get to editing. All right, these are loaded up, so let's start our edits. Again, this in the sky here is a pretty quick one. The bird, just a little bit of a distraction. Let me shift to my spot heal, just a little bit easier on the bruises here. A little bit on the background stuff. Yeah, now that I'm using my Cintiq now instead of the mouse, and it's so much easier just to sketch these in, paint these in. And a little bit of distraction back here that I don't like. Not a huge deal, quite, to be honest, because a lot of that too might just crop out anyway, but we'll see. Just getting rid of it now. I don't think there's really anything else in this one. Keep it pretty natural and unedited. Just go. All right. So that dialog opened up off the screen since I switched to my Cintiq. Yes, save, and move on to the next one. So just cranking through them. Oh, I'll be on this layer here. So this the skin heal layer is one that's in my actions. That's something that I've created. Basically, it's just another way of kind of smoothing out the skin. Honestly, for these shots, it's not going to be needed. Might be needed on some of the closer up shots, but for some of these full body shots, not really going to need that. So. And by default, you can see I've got the layer turned or the mask basically keeping it all hidden anyway. So we can crank through these pretty quickly. Nope, I'm not using the heal tool. I'm using the spot heal tool, so no source points needed. Get some of these little distracting areas. As well as bruise here. Go. Just a little bit of that harshness on the light, just kind of from the sun that hits in there. Okay, I think we're good. Just kind of blending that a little bit with the heel. I think we're good with that. So there definitely are some shoots, some shots that that happen where you're going to want a lot of different edits. And if you've taken any of my Photoshop, like my Photoshop masterclass, I've got some very super heavy, surreal composites that you can do inside of Photoshop. Some really, really cool stuff, of course. But for a lot of shoots, quite honestly, most portrait shoots that I do, I try to be as minimal with the edits that I can. Again, just blending out some of that highlighted area there. Minimal with the edits themselves. Get rid of some of that. I think I got a little bit too much. And instead, get it in camera. So a lot of this stuff on set, getting it in camera for a shoot like this, quite honestly, is pretty easy because the set is just nature. So that's a little blurry there, but let's come in here and fix this. Just paint that out. So for something like this, with that, the heel is not really working. I'm going to use a stamp tool. Switch it down a little bit. Create a new layer just in case we mess up. Just to get rid of that little bruised area there. And then we can go ahead and even erase that little bit of ribbon. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Save and move on to the next one. So this one would be a little bit different because I got my own shadow in there. So we'll want to fix that. But let's do the base stuff that we've been doing first. Bruises. There we go. Might be a little much on that. Let me go. And then, you know, that doesn't even really bother me that much. This stuff right here. This over here a little bit. Just because it's in the shadow, I think it doesn't bother me as much that it's in there. But what I do want to fix is my shadow here. So let's create a new layer. And we can try a few different things, see if Photoshop can kind of do it automatically. Let's use the patch tool. Oops. See if Photoshop can figure this out automatically. Get a source from over here. Nope. It's trying to blend it too much. So probably just do this quick. Let's use our stamp to get a base layer and then generate the pixels. So we'll use a base from over here, just the shadow, just to get rid of that. And this is something where, again, like, I mean, you're seeing the back end of this and how this is edited, so you know the original picture, but you always have to think, you know, people that see the photo originally are not going to, or they see the photo, they're going to see the edited result. They're not going to know that that shadow was there. So it's not going to be as apparent. They're not really going to know, you know, to go looking there for an edit. So you can use that sometimes to your advantage to get away with some stuff. Obviously, you don't want it to look like it was edited. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that you can use that to your advantage to not have to worry about getting everything pixel perfect, I guess is my point there. Because they're not going to come in and be like, oh, well, that little bit of sand wasn't actually there. They weren't there. They don't know where the sand was or wasn't, or where these designs in the sand were, you know. We are rotate just a little bit easier on the Cintiq here. There we go. So I'm just sampling a lot of different areas to recreate some of this kind of texture on the ground to get my own shadow out of it. There we go. We could even so before, after, actually for this one here. So once we have this, I'm going to come in here and let's group it, and then essentially, now that I've gotten a lot of it, I'm just going to paint in where the actual shadow is here. Adjust my flow, change the hardness, and then paint in gently to get the shadow away. There we go. Much better. Okay. might actually do a little bit right here. That looks a little messed up there. Here we go. Great. Okay. All right. So happy with the way this is looking for this one. And now let's move on to our next. So save this off. We've got a lot more pictures to edit. And the way this is going, looks like each video will be doing probably about 5. I'll go ahead and stop this video here. And then once this is done saving, we will pull in the next 5 and just keep plowing through. So see you in the next video.